The investigation into Sarah Williams' murder has been long and difficult. A red ribbon, strange phone calls, and three suspects: John, the ex-boyfriend; Rachel, the best friend; and Marcus, the quiet neighbor. Each had their own secrets, their own reasons to be suspected. The truth is finally here. The pieces of the puzzle started coming together, and the killer's identity became clear. The red ribbon held in Sarah's hand wasn't just a random clue. It was a key to unlocking the truth. After days of examining it, detectives figured out that the ribbon had come from a piece of clothing, an old dress that had been altered. The edges were frayed, as if someone had ripped it away quickly. The breakthrough came when they compared the ribbon to a photo they had found of Rachel at a costume party months earlier. In the picture, Rachel was wearing a dress with a ribbon around her waist, a red ribbon just like the one Sarah had clutched in her hand. That was the first real crack in Rachel's story. She had denied knowing anything about the ribbon, but this connection couldn't be ignored. The detectives pressed her for more answers. Rachel tried to keep her story straight, but as the pressure mounted, she began to crack. Finally, she confessed. She had been at Sarah's house the night of the murder. She admitted that the red ribbon was hers, but she swore she didn't mean to kill Sarah. She said it had been an accident. Rachel told the police that she and Sarah had been arguing. Their friendship had been falling apart because Rachel felt left behind. Sarah had started a new job, made new friends, and Rachel felt like she was no longer important in Sarah's life. On that fateful night, Rachel had gone to Sarah's house to talk things out, but the conversation turned heated. Rachel said that in a moment of anger, she pushed Sarah. Sarah fell and hit her head on the corner of a table. When Rachel saw what had happened, she panicked. She had never meant for it to go this far. In her rush to leave, her dress got caught on something and the ribbon tore off. Without thinking, she fled the house, leaving Sarah lying on the floor, and the red ribbon behind. But what about the phone calls? Why had Sarah been receiving those creepy, silent calls in the days before her death? Rachel admitted to making the calls too. She had been feeling upset and confused about her friendship with Sarah. The calls were her way of reaching out, trying to connect with Sarah without actually speaking. She didn't know what to say, but she wanted Sarah to know she was there, even if it was in a strange, silent way. She never expected things to go so wrong. With Rachel's confession, the case was finally solved. The police had the answers they were looking for. Rachel had never planned to kill Sarah, but in the heat of the moment, she lost control. The tragedy of Sarah's death weighed heavily on her, and she couldn't run from it any longer. John and Marcus were cleared of suspicion. John had been telling the truth about staying home that night, and Marcus, though nervous, had no connection to the crime. It all came down to a moment of rage and jealousy between two friends who had grown apart. Sarah Williams' life was taken in an instant, in a way no one could have imagined. It wasn't a cold-blooded murder planned by a stranger, but rather a tragic accident between two people who once cared deeply for each other. The red ribbon, once a symbol of mystery, now tells the story of a friendship that fell apart and a life lost too soon. Rachel was charged with manslaughter and now faces the consequences of that terrible night. It's a reminder that sometimes the people closest to us can cause the deepest harm, even when they don't mean to. Thank you for watching. Sarah's story has come to a close, but there are always more mysteries to uncover, more stories to tell. Be sure to subscribe and follow us for more crime stories that will leave you thinking long after the episode ends. Who do you trust in your life? And what happens when that trust is broken? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more gripping crime cases where the truth is often stranger and sadder than fiction. We'll see you next time on 0 Hour Files.